Good morning. When people start to know about the establishment becomes predictable. I'm sure they don't like this. People can tell what the establishment will do next. And we have this situation in Sweden right now with explosions. We have this explosion, people become upset, media talk about it, and then there's another one and another one. And people understand in general who these guys are, who are blowing things up. Now the establishment, they don't like this. They don't want people to blame the wrong guys. So what happened? Well, they had the security police make a report. Yeah, very predictable. So right in the middle of all this chaos about the explosions, there is this report from the security police talking about the rise of right-wing extremists. Now, who do you think you're fooling? Yeah. And it's typical and predictable, isn't it? Yeah, I'm going to tell you a story from the UK. Now, this could have happened in any of these nations. Australia, Sweden, Canada, France, Germany. It's a typical story, and it shows me, at least, how the United Nations is destroying these societies. You can see United Nations written all over this story. It's really bad. Okay, it's about this guy Ahmed. He came to the UK in 2003. He was convicted in August 2008 together with 3 other guys. They tricked a 16-year-old girl into a flat, and then they held her down and took turns in raping her. It was a terrible story. So this happened in 2008. And in 2010, this guy Ahmed was told that he was going to be deported back to Somalia. And then there was a series of appeals and stuff, and it didn't happen until last October. And then something happened on the plane. He was on this plane together with his officials who was taking him to Turkey from Heathrow. And he started to scream on the plane. And then there were a dozen holiday makers who felt sorry for this guy, this rapist. And they angrily intervened. There's a video, you can find it, I'm sure. You can hear Ahmed screaming, and then you hear these holiday makers shouting, take him off the plane. And they did. Before takeoff, he was removed from the plane. We had a very similar situation here in Sweden some time ago with Elin Ersson. Maybe you remember this. Okay, and then, the story goes on and on. Before this happened, he was talking to a psychiatrist, of course. He was suffering from mental trauma. I'm talking about this guy Ahmed, the rapist. The psychiatrist filed a report with the Home Office, a request to revoke the deportation order. Ahmed had allegedly tried to commit suicide on more than one occasion. The psychiatrist said that he was suffering from a depressive disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder. And there was another thing. Ahmed claimed that he was a victim of modern slavery. Before he came to the UK, he was kidnapped and worked for a neighbor, shining shoes, for 2 years without pay. And this thing with slavery is important. This is all about the United Nations regulations. I can see this. Yeah. You see, because if he's connected to slavery in any way, this adds to the case, The officials, they have to take this into account, and this will delay the whole process. See, there's a lot of this stuff going on here. Yeah. Okay, the victim of the rape, she's now 27 years old. And she has commented on this. She says, it's ridiculous. His mental health is being put above mine. It's absolutely disgusting. And I'm appalled that he is using this excuse to try and avoid deportation. She herself tried to get help. Yeah. But, I mean, and this guy, he's getting a specialist looking into his mental health and stuff, you know, for free, of course. She has to fund it herself if she's going to get any help. Right. Yeah, it's awful. The Home Office lawyers says that the claim of modern slavery was designed to frustrate the deportation process. Yeah. It is understood that anyone referred to the authorities as a potential victim of slavery, here it is, must have their case examined by a specialist in a process that takes 45 days. All right. And he also tried to escape to Spain, this guy. He was released on bail, and within a few days, actually 4 weeks after his release, he removed his electronic tag and attempted to board a ferry from Liverpool to Belfast and then further to Spain. He was caught by the police officers. He was found with a Spanish passport and admitted planning to travel on to Dublin and then Spain. All right. And how much does this cost? The taxpayers. Yeah. Criminal trials, prison costs, immigration cases involving this Somalian rapist, Ahmed. This cost the taxpayers about £330,000. All right. We have to get rid of the United Nations. That's my conclusion. All right. Bye.